a neighbor's dog that was barking continuously for the past several hours. He then retrieved a firearm from his residence and walked up to the road to his neighbor's house, Carrie and Lois, and he then approached the rear fence, which stands a few feet off the ground. Carrie and Lois's dog approached the fence. He then aimed a firearm at the 1-year-old dog and shot her in the chest. He then turned and started walking back to his home. The dog would take approximately a half hour to die from the bullet. He followed behind the defendant. Shortly before reaching the defendant's residence, Carrie yelled at him that he just shot his dog. The defendant turned around towards Carrie, raised both arms in the air while still possessing the firearm. Carrie feared the defendant was going to shoot at him, and he fled back to his house. Officers arrived on the scene, and then another neighbor verified the defendant was seen walking with the firearms and going into his residence. He was then taken into custody. He admitted shooting the dog with a firearm.
Bellingham for 27 years, 54 within the state of Washington. He works for a local bank. He has held down a number of long-term jobs and employment, stable employment over the years. He is engaged. I believe his fiancée may be in the viewing room. He would certainly comply with any restrictions or conditions that the court would set, including an anti-harassment or protection order naming the neighbors. He'll certainly abide by any of those restrictions. Your Honor, given his limited history, he certainly doesn't bear any risk of flight, but I think also with his limited history, he, I think, poses a limited threat to the community safety as well. So I would ask the court set bail in the amount of $5,000. I think that would be an appropriate amount to secure his appearance at future court dates, as well as ensure that he's following any conditions that the court may set.
Sir, obviously there's a lot of issues that your attorney will help you with as the next number of weeks go by, not the least of which is whether a firearm was discharged or a pellet gun. Not that the pellet gun isn't very serious, but that certainly makes a difference as far as I can tell. But based on what I have, I'm satisfied based solely upon the seriousness of the alleged offense that bail is appropriate and fairly substantial bail. There's no indication that you won't show up in court. I'm sure you understand the importance of being in court when we instruct you to be there. And I'm also satisfied that there's no indication of problems in your past with anger management, no indication of problems with firearms. So I will go a little bit lower than the state's request. I want $20,000 bail, which is bondable, and I imagine you're going to be able to bond out. If you do, sir, make sure you are law-abiding. You're going to order the anti-harassment order that is very specific as to the distance. It's going to be, you're not going to go, you'll be allowed to live at home, but you're not going to be allowed to go anywhere closer to that to your neighbor, the alleged victim, than your property line, if you know what I mean, in that direction. So hopefully you're able to get off your property, go on the other way.
Absolutely.
Sir, please understand that besides being law-abiding, you must avoid drugs and alcohol, non-prescribed medications and alcohol. You must stay out of trouble with the law. No firearms, sir. And I appreciate there might be there will probably be some issues there as we go along, but at least if you want to go home at this time, get those firearms out of your home, all firearms out of your home, including any pellet guns that might be there, or any guns of any sort.
And Your Honor, if I may, I believe those have already been turned over, and Bellingham Police already has all of those.
I appreciate that, counsel. That is part of the order, but I appreciate that it's already been done. You will have no contact at all with the alleged victims.